Have you ever wondered what would happen, or are you afraid to travel solo because you're afraid of having an emergency? This video is about what happened to me when I was traveling solo and I had to go to the ER. And I hope you'll find it funny because parts of it are really funny in this story. But I also hope you find it reassuring that you can do solo things without being afraid and being able to handle any mishap that comes your way. I was going to be driving for 2 days to meet up with a group of friends, and I was in my camper van. I think Oreo was with me. This is Oreo. Yeah. And on the way, I noticed that my left leg, which was thank God, my non-driving leg, was hurting. And it was to the point where I couldn't put any pressure on it. And I'm at a gas station trying to fill up. And, I'm doing the one-legged thing and hanging on to the van while I'm pumping the gas. And then I had to go inside the gas station. And I'm hopping on one leg. I'm holding on to the gas pumps. I'm holding on to the door. I'm holding on to the building. And it was just not good. Not good. So I finally made it to the campground after 2 days of this and never leaving the van. I was just using the furniture and the beds to get me around on one leg. And I arrived there and I could not get out. I'm looking around, and I'm watching all my friends laughing and having a good time. And I'm like, I can't leave. And I'm watching all this action from my window, and people were concerned. And I said, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. I just need to rest and blah, blah, blah. And then I saw these guys walking or scootering by on scooters. And I thought, that's it. That is the answer to all of this. So I got on the phone with my doctor, who knows me very, very well. I love my doctor. And I told him what was going on. I said, I'm at this campground. Can you call my insurance and coordinate it to get me a scooter to send it out here? I'm in the Louisiana bayou. Can you get one to me so I can get around? And he looked at me on the phone and he said, young lady, which isn't that nice of him? Young lady, you are going to scoot yourself to the ER to make sure you don't have a blood clot in your leg. And I'm like, okay. So I drove 45 minutes to the nearest ER, and I parked in the emergency parking lot, and I had to sit there and yell out my window for people to help me because I needed a wheelchair. I could not walk into the building. And I'm yelling and yelling and yelling till I was hoarse. And finally, 2 guys figured out that I needed help, and they came out with a wheelchair. It was a real fiasco getting me into that wheelchair. But anyways, they get me into the ER. They did a sonogram on my leg, and I was clear. Then the doctor came in to talk to me. I don't know what's going on, but she did not believe that my leg hurt. And I was like, really? I can't stand on it. She's like, prove it to me. Prove it to me. She's putting her arms out for me to stand up. And I said, I'm going to start screaming. This is going to hurt. And so I made it halfway. And then I said, forget it. I can't do this. I guess they're concerned of people going into the ER seeking drugs. And I just rolled my eyes at that one. I'm like, whatever happened to the days where you could get some sympathy from a doctor instead of accusations? But anyway, this very, very kind nurse came in, and she showed me how to put an ACE bandage on my leg. I mean, she showed me the proper way to do it. And I was so grateful for that. And then she got a walker. She found a walker, to give me, and she taught me how to use the walker. And then when it was time for me to go in my van, she had two people take me out, and they literally pushed me by the butt into the van door to get me in the van. I'm like, God, they must really want me out of this place. And then they folded up the walker and put it in there. And I slept overnight in their parking lot because I can't drive at night. So the next day, with my walker and my ace bandage, I was all set to meet my friends. And they were going to visit a animal safari. And I'm like, oh, that sounds so much fun. So I drive over there. I get my walker on the gravel. I get hobbling along, on one foot. I'm still hopping. I'm hopping on one foot. And, my friends were very, very kind and kind of patient with me because I was so way far behind. They're walking and I was at a snail's pace, but I still enjoyed myself. I loved seeing all the animals. So a few days, well, when I got back to the campground after that, and the owner was so kind and brought out a golf cart and so I didn't have to do the walker everywhere. And he was taking me around where I needed to go, like the restroom and the showers. And finally by day 7, my knee stopped hurting and I could walk on it. I still kept the ace bandage on, but, I think I handled that emergency like a champ. And I just want you to know that don't be afraid to go out because you'll be okay. You'll handle it. Things happen and you will handle it as it comes along. If you all have any funny stories to tell me about your injuries on the road, leave a comment down below and don't forget to subscribe to hear more of my antics. Bye-bye.